So today we're talking about accessories, and I'd like you to think in your mind, what is it that you buy that comes with attachments or that needs things assigned to it? So we're going to make this real simple. I'm going to click my Locate Item button, and a color printer. I can sell this printer for $125. The customer walks away and it's a done deal. But what if we suggested some things that they buy in addition? So as they're leaving, we have a suggested accessories list. Would you like another cartridge of black ink or a cartridge of colored ink? And they can pick and choose, or they can get both, and it's added to the invoice. So you've increased your sale. That is a great, great tool. However, there's some other things we can do with this that I wanted to show you. I'm going to tender this out, and we're going to go to inventory and show you how it works. In my inventory center, I'm going to find my color printer, and I have ink black cartridges, color cartridges, but I highlight the printer and I choose Stock Manager on the left, and I choose links. And this tells me that these are following along. When I sell this item, these will follow along as suggested items. But there's some other choices. I'm going to choose linked items here. And this is how it's done. Here's my color printer at the top. What I do is I find the item that I want to be suggested. I'm doing suggested here at the top, and I move it over to the right. And move it over to the right. And that's the way it works. But maybe I want to make it a little bit more enticing. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to say that if you buy this printer today, you're going to get an ink cartridge, a black ink cartridge, for absolutely nothing. You're going to get it for free. That'd be good. I'm going to say OK. Now the color cartridge, we're going to do that a little bit differently. We're going to say you get it for $5, which is my cost, and I say OK. So what I've done is I've identified the main item. When it's sold, it has two suggested items come across at different prices. Let's show you how that works. I'm going to close this, I'm going to close this, and start another quick sale invoice. I'm going to type CP for my color printer, and I am prompted, would you like a black cartridge? It's free today, but only because you bought the printer, and the ink, the color cartridge is cheaper. So I'm going to choose OK, OK, and watch what happens. So they got the black one for free, they got the color one for a discounted price. However, if they decline, and then they say afterwards, you know, I think I do want that ink black, they have to pay the regular price. Anybody who buys it straight out has to buy it at the regular price. I'm going to show you another concept, and that is there are some items that should be sold automatically just because you want to keep the customer happy. I got to buy a new water pump for my car, so I can buy this Ford water pump. The dealer knows I have to have a gasket for it, but I don't know that. So the gasket should be added automatically to the invoice. And if I say, well, I've already got a gasket, then it can be removed. Another thing that happens, I think, with water pumps is you have to pay a core charge. They want you to bring the old water pump back, and you get your refund on your core charge. So let's see how this works. I made these inactive, so let me just make them quickly active. And we'll reset my inventory here, not to show inactive only. And I'm looking for the Ford water pump. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to choose Stock Manager. I'm going to choose Links. Nothing is linked to it. And I'm going to choose Links Manager. So when they buy this Ford water pump, I know that I have to have a core charge. And it's going to be automatic. It's going to be a tag along, and I just move it over to the right. The gasket is also going to be needed, and I just tag it along and I move it over to the right. So I can change pricing if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. And I say OK. Let's talk about this printer. What else could I do with this one? We could add paper to the printer. So if I find my color printer, I'm going to choose Stock Manager. I'm going to choose my linked items, and I could make a tag along so that they get a ream of paper for free. No extra charge, set the selling price. We're going to say 0 here. But if they buy the paper by itself, then they'll have to pay the regular price. So those are the basics here of linked items. Now I should mention one other thing while I'm here. Suggested items will pop up and say, the customer asks the customer, would you like this? It's on sale today because you bought this item. Tag-alongs are automatically added to the invoice. The switch similar related items is strictly for e-commerce, so it'll show up on your e-commerce website. Now, but those are the options that you have. If you don't want to include it any longer, you just pull it back out of the system and it's gone. And I'm going to do a quick sale invoice, and I want this Ford pump, this Ford water pump, and watch what happens when I select it. The core charge is added, the gasket is added. Now I could include a transaction note on the core charge that says refunded when the old water pump is brought back into the store. But that, in a nutshell, is accessories, tag-alongs, and suggested items.